Hey guys, it's the Infamous here. Before we jump into tonight's episode, I gotta tell you about our sponsor, Audible. Audible gives you access to hundreds of thousands of audiobooks that you can listen to wherever it's convenient for you. Use our link, audibletrial.com/infamous, and not only do you get a free 30-day trial of the service, but you also get a free audiobook compliments of the show. So head to audibletrial.com/infamous, get yourself a book, and get some money back into the show. Enjoy tonight's episode.
Okay, hi. You're listening to Infamous Chronicles. Yeah. Love you, Dad.
And this is the Infamous Chronicles. Tonight's roster is going to be myself, the Infamous, Mr. Augie Rocks, a new member that we'll be introducing in a second, Todd, another new member, and Gino. We are going to be covering the first of our conspiracy series. It's going to carry us through the farewell tour of Mr. Todd on our show. This is the Infamous Chronicles. Here we go.
Turn down for what?
Do you even know what's going on?
This is the Infamous Chronicles.
The Infamous Chronicles.
Featuring the infamous
Aggie Rocks,
Casey Moran,
Firefox,
P-Sack,
The Jester,
Scotty G,
and Gina.
Wait, what are we doing?
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
The Infamous Chronicles starts right now.
I like the color of your water bottle, by the way. Just want to get that out there now.
It's the color of my dick. It's so nice.
I'm going to leave that on. All right, and welcome to tonight's episode. I am your host, the Infamous. We have a big roster tonight. There's been some changes that I think we're going to dedicate an episode to later. So we will update you on that. But the immediate change that you need to know about is that Todd is departing from the Infamous Chronicles as a permanent cast member. He will always be welcome back as a guest host, obviously. But so since Todd was our resident conspiracy theorist, we've decided to dedicate the month of June to ridiculous conspiracies. And so each week we're going to be covering and if you don't think this is ridiculous, then I apologize, but then you're crazy. So we're going to be talking about the things that some are more ridiculous than others. Fair way to put it. So you got a thick roster tonight. So obviously we're going to start off with Todd. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you.
It's been a while. Congratulations on the new job.
Thank you. Thank you.
He is leaving for a good reason.
Yes.
Yes, it's justified.
Yes.
Augie Rocks, welcome back.
Oh, hey. How's it going out there?
From your road trip.
Yeah. Half of it.
Yeah. Gino.
Howdy doody.
Back on the mic.
Back in the mic?
Back on the mic.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
on the money, bro.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And now you got a full-fledged dwelling now?
Yeah.
This guy moved into a new place. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's been a long
3
road.
months.
It's been a long fucking 3 months, dude. Oh, man.
So
Then we have a couple new members tonight. They're transitioning from other Infamous Works projects that are discontinued. So the first update is that Taco Truck of Destiny and her Chronicles are on permanent hiatus. And so we have stolen the two show managers of those two shows, and they're now going to be part of the Infamous Chronicles rotation. So first, for the previous host of Taco Truck, you've heard him on the show before, but we welcome back Sean to the rotation.
What's up? Thank you so much.
Welcome.
You stole me. I'm held for ransom.
Stole you, baby. And then we welcome our new female resident to the show. She came on to her Chronicles and then ended up actually being promoted to the show manager of that. And now she has transitioned on. She's weaseled her way into this program. So I'd like to introduce everyone to our newest cast member, Chevy.
I weaseled my way in. Sounds so naughty.
She's the one with the turquoise colored dick in the intro that you heard.
Excuse me, it's purple, and I also have a pink
I believe
one.
it's actually violet.
Oh, that water bottle.
That one, not this one, no.
Oh, okay. Then yes, then that's way
It's
better.
a violet-colored dick.
You thought she had a clear dick, bro?
Yeah.
I do, well,
That could
maybe
be
next month I'll have a
tricky.
clear dick. I haven't decided yet.
Fair enough.
Just starting a whole collection.
Of dicks?
Of
Because
dicks.
early outside they were purple and pink, so now they're
Well,
clear.
because I own two, and then I might get more.
Do they ever get jealous of each other?
No, they live in separate drawers.
Okay.
Oh.
You don't
Okay.
want to fight?
No, I don't want them to fight over me.
What the heart doesn't know.
So as you can all tell, I'm sure you're going to love Chevy. She's going to fit in just fine here.
No, I'm terrible.
So tonight's topic, as our first conspiracy, tonight we're going to cover aliens and ghosts. Yeah. So if this isn't your thing, hang in there with us. It's meant to be fun. One of the changes you're going to see on the show, if you've been with us for a long time, it used to be a lot more fun than it's been recently. I'm going to take ownership for that. But we're going back to like a more fun, laid-back atmosphere. And what better way to start off with aliens and ghosts? So each week for the next 3 weeks, we're going to have a different conspiracy. We invite you to come back each week to find out what we're going to be covering. But this week, we're going to start with ghosts. So, and ghosts in the sense, to be specific, let's talk about ghosts and then afterlife as two separate yet similar categories. Like afterlife is like heaven and hell, and then ghosts.
So if you're a spirit trapped on Earth, you're a ghost. But if you're going to the afterlife, you're typically not a ghost.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct. Got it. So as the master of conspiracy theories, Todd, let's go aliens first.
Aliens.
So a lot of people believe aliens have been here. A lot of people believe that they've contributed to much of the technology and architecture of the history of this planet. Some people believe
The history of our bodies.
Some people believe we're evolution of alien life forms. So let's start. You get to go first. Where are you at on aliens? Do you think they've come here, and how much do you think they've influenced us as a society?
Well, that's a big answer for one question. So my opinion is that after researching and going into deeper, I'm like what Augie was saying, is that they're kind of more irresponsible for the beings of us. We're the reason. They are the reason why we even exist. They kind of created us back in the day. So I think they've been here ever since. I think they watch us. I think there's a whole multitude of different species, and they work in a government kind of like us. And there's some that are good. There's some that are bad. There's some that want us to be here. There's some that don't want us to be here. And so I absolutely 100% believe they exist. We're too small in such a big galaxy, universe, for us to say we're the only living creatures to be around.
Absolutely. Yep.
So it's what they feed you is what makes you believe how we were created, but yet they don't tell you all of it. There's a lot of chapters in the Bible that they don't tell you. There's a big hidden underneath the Vatican that they don't release to anybody.
Yep.
So what's there? What is it that they're hiding?
I love that you brought up the Vatican too, because you've actually pointed out to me before that the Vatican is among the 3 establishments in this planet that are controlled by no government.
Exactly. So they don't pay taxes. They're their own superpower, and nobody can control them. So, and it's kind of like that with a lot of different religions. And if you look at religion as a whole, almost every single one of them are identical, but they just say the story is slightly different. And so it's kind of unique that in an age where there were no airplanes or no anything like that, but yet you have maps that are drawn out perfectly, or people that didn't know that the world was round and that there was other continents out there, yet share the same kind of religion. Like that to me is a little.
How could uncommunicated places be of a central mind?
Exactly. Yeah. Plus there's a lot of things that they find in the world today that are unexplained. How certain things were made back in the day. Perfect precision cuts in stone that they didn't have those tools to make those kind of perfect 90-degree cuts and stuff like that.
Like that really old nuclear plant they just discovered that's like 3 million years old.
Right. They just discovered that, and then they're saying too that the pyramids in Egypt were basically a nuclear plant.
And there's pyramids underwater too.
There's pyramids underwater. So there's so many things that are unanswered that we're just now scratching the surface of, and to say that they don't exist is ignorant.
Yeah, I agree.
So they're there. You just a lot of people, you have to see it to believe it.
Yep.
And so I know that when I was younger, I saw a UFO. And so
really,
ever since then, I've been a believer.
Where?
I was living in Arizona. So I don't know if you guys remember
what part of Arizona?
Phoenix thing where they had where all those unidentified lights were flying over the Santan Mountains.
That was exactly what you're talking
after.
about.
But when I was living in Queen Creek, Arizona, there was one time I was playing outside and it was kind of like dusk, and we had an Air Force base that was close to us. And so you could see like almost every star when the stars started coming out and stuff. But the stars weren't out yet. But you saw light and it was just sitting there. It was kind of weird. It was like, oh, maybe that's like, the first star. We were young, like, oh, starlight, star bright, first star, right? And I was like saying that, and all of a sudden that star went straight up. It was weird, dude. And it didn't move anywhere. It just was sitting there, and it just went shot straight up. And
I was watching you.
So it was weird, you know. So
you don't typically see that in an earthbound aircraft.
No, you don't. So to me, it's all, you know, I don't know. If you need to see it to believe it, then you aren't going to believe in anything.
And you've already seen
anybody.
And then sometimes when you see it and you see something super drastic, baffles your fucking mind and you just can't handle reality anymore.
Well, Augie, I was going to change it up tonight because I normally go clockwise or counterclockwise, but I'm going to go zigzag tonight. So that means you're next, actually. So I know I've known you a very long time, and I know you have a similar perspective to his.
I've been raised kind of differently. My mom's into alternative medicine. She's into the healing arts, that type of stuff. So I've always been raised like with broader horizon, I guess, towards this type of situation. So one time, driving back from the state my dad's from in Mexico, I was like 12 or 13. We're in Arizona as well. It's late, like 3 a.m. The only thing you could see is the lights from the highway, you know, desert. It was quite a large-sized freeway. Then we see this plane-looking vessel, we should call it, with lights going around it, like circulating around the plane-looking object. Then it flies directly over us under the lights of the freeway, shadows us, and then just takes off into outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is crazy to me, you know, because you have all these accounts, millions and millions of people that have sit there and have these experiences. And then to say that all of these people are wrong, all these people are crazy, then to me that's wrong. There's got to be something there.
Because we're programmed not to believe.
Right. So if all those people that are crazy that sit there and say that they had an account of a visitation or they saw a UFO or something like that and to call them crazy, then all those millions of people that believe in Jesus or a God, those people are crazy too. Because you've never seen it. Where's the proof?
Yeah.
You have to take it on faith.
What I believe is that Jesus was an extraterrestrial as well. You know what I mean?
A lot of people do.
Yeah. That's how he had all the magic powers. Right. He could walk on water. You know?
Well, that's the thing is when you go back in the day when we were first created and then you see these people that are flying, you know, or like you said, have these powers, how do we make of that? How does somebody who's never seen something like that, you know, translate that? So then they become gods. When we were at war, I forget which war it was, but we visited an island and we turned it into like a little pit stop base or whatever. And there was these Aborigines that lived there, and they had no recollection of the outside world. And so when we came there, we had planes and stuff. We landed and we had food and we fed them and stuff like that. And once we left, they prayed to us. They prayed to the gods to come back and give us more food. And they would build like these like wooden, like plane-looking dealy-bababs that they would worship because they figured that we were God. So what's to say that back in the day they weren't doing the same thing?
Can I make a joke right now?
Sure.
And then the white people went back with their planes and killed all the Aborigines, and that's how Australia got made.
All right, let's zig back across the table to Sean, our new team member over here. Where do you stand at this? Obviously, this is obviously going to evolve into a more contextual conversation, but for the Cliff Notes version of it.
Well, I wish I had more of an opposing opinion. It might make for an interesting show. Everyone's going to be talking about how they do believe.
I think just for the sake of it, I'll play opposition tonight.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you're outvoted. You're wrong.
So you're faking it today. That's what you're doing.
I think Todd has a lot of interesting points. My, if I could sum it up, my point of view is I'm open. I'm not sure. I do believe with my whole, every fiber of my being, and I have since I was a child, we're not alone in the universe. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's just, it's inconceivable. And now people are coming out and not being afraid to say it. People with huge IQs like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Stephen Hawking are 100% committed to the fact that we're not alone in the universe.
Right.
And a lot, astrophysicists are shit ton smarter than me. So, do I believe that they've been here and visited? I'm open to it. I'm really not sure. I think it's a definite possibility. It's possible that they never have. It's possible that they have.
But you're willing to accept it either way.
Oh yeah. I mean, goddamn, you really think about this on a topic in the realm of possibilities. What's really not possible in this?
Right.
You're talking about an infinite amount of possibilities that as a human brain, you cannot even You cannot capture. If you had the ability to do it, your head would just shut down and you'd stroke out on the floor.
Right.
You can't grasp it as a human being.
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very possible. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think they look, and they don't look like us for sure.
They look like Gina.
Well, they'd hope.
Jeez.
They'd be adorable
Yeah,
aliens.
they should be so lucky.
Gina's adorable.
Aliens.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
All right, so we're going to zig back across the table over here to you, Chevy, our other new member tonight.
Oh, boy.
So, Cliff Notes version, where do you stand on this topic? Before we
I
get
love
into the
aliens.
details?
I love the movie Men in Black. I love anything that has to do with aliens.
It's official.
I love X-Files. I don't have a personal experience with aliens. Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe all of you are aliens. Maybe I'm an alien.
Yeah, you do now.
That would be more
That would
likely.
be super cool. Yeah, that would.
But what's your personal stance on it?
I like them. I want them to come hang out with us.
Do you believe that they've been here before?
I believe that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's all I have to say about that.
Do you
Gino?
think they're still here?
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe they probably left because
We're boring.
Stephen Hawking says that we should stop trying to reach out to him.
so they can come to us.
No, because if he feels that if we keep on reaching out to him, we're going to get the wrong ones. They're not going to come here with nice intentions.
It's going to be like Mars Attacks.
The wrong ones are
I
already
just have
here.
movies.
I agree. I think the wrong ones are already here too.
Well, there's two sides to everything. There's good and bad. You know what I mean?
To all matter.
But they're like,
a lot of people believe that Antarctica, the reason why it's purposely unexplored is because that's where a lot of alien activity is originated, and that's why all countries have been
there's a hole in the
granted
Earth
access.
in Antarctica that leads to the center, or not the center of the Earth, but to different realms in the Earth.
Yeah, like the Savage Land.
So that's the only continent on this planet that is a national, like not national, but international agreement that is not to be explored.
Right.
Also in
There's got to be a reason.
It's the only continent.
The Savage
that
Land is
cannot go
there.
explored.
That's a nerd.
Savage Land?
Yeah.
Is that a comic book?
It's a Marvel Comics reference.
Also in Antarctica, the farthest building that's like lived in and maintained is a post office, and there's a plaque there that says, "We will be ready when they come to fight them."
Nice.
What?
That's
this is a real thing.
That's insane.
This is a real thing.
It's kind of weird that
Yeah.
Antarctica is a place where like only invited people go.
And it's the largest landmass on our planet.
Right, the largest landmass on the planet.
But yet only
You
1%
can't go
of it's
to it. You
yeah.
can't- exactly. So it's just a little.
There's not even a way to visit it
Maybe that's where they
Why would you
all
want
are,
to? It's so
in our-
butt ass cold.
because it's. I mean, the whole
Unless you can find that.
taboo of like it's Antarctica. It's not. I would want to explore it. You wouldn't go. You wouldn't take a trip to Antarctica if you could.
Dude, if it dips below 60, I start to get really cold and turn into a wuss. So,
It dips below 60 here.
dude, if it dips below 60, I'm like, I need an extra sweater. I'm not going to Antarctica. It's like 60 below.
All right, we have the last zag over here to you, Gino.
The last, but not the worst.
Where do you, not the worst at all? I didn't say that. Like,
Well, you-
nice to know your
Wouldn't you be
self-esteem,
the
though.
last zag because we started it with him?
Let's
All right,
go.
then I take that
Zig, zag, zig, zag, zig. You're the last zig, bro.
Oh, okay. I'll take
So-
the last
It's
zig.
like a
Yeah.
pinball.
So where do you stand on this?
All right, they're real. They're
Nice.
gotta be. I mean, so many unexplained freaking just monuments between, like you said earlier, the pyramids and Oak Island. I don't know if anyone knows. Oh, hey, howdy.
He just came into the same room with us.
Oak Island, like just crazy. That's the one thing that I've never been able to grasp. And they even say like modern technology now, like we can't get to the bottom of it. Just this giant pit that was constructed, how it was, and just too technologically advanced, I guess, for any time. This was a long ass time ago.
Can you explain what Oak Island is for stupid people like me?
Yeah,
please.
Okay, so in somewhere in Canada, there's an island called Oak Island, and somewhere on it, these like kids in the 1800s discovered like this. I think it was like a 10-foot diameter like dip. So they started digging for some reason. They went down and like let's say 10 feet, there was like oak logs, like just oak planks, and they're like, okay, what the fuck? And then yeah, and then they broke through that and dug more. Like every 10 feet, there was a floor of oak, and I think one of the first 3 levels or something like that, there was like, I forgot the first one, but it was like coconut fibers, like the slab with these, this writing on it. We still have not been able to depict what it says or anything like that. And coconut fibers are not indigenous to anywhere around there.
What?
Yeah, it's insane. And then the further down they go, because it's on an island, they hit like this flooding channel system where it took the water from the islands and just literally, or from outside the island, brought it to this one spot. And they said it's just, for its time, it's just impossible to construct that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's called the Money Pit.
That's crazy. What country is this in? Is it Canada?
It's in Canada, yeah. I think
on the East Coast or the West Coast?
I think the East Coast.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So yeah, they're there. Like you said, like everyone said, good, bad, and hopefully they are here to help. You know, the ones the ones here I think have.
If you had to, first thing that comes to your mind in one word, what is the first thing in your brain is evidence that aliens have landed here before?
I just think you look at history. I mean, I can't think of one thing in the word history. History.
All right, fine.
Probably my whole life. Just that, if that was one word.
No spaces.
I don't think anyone understands the rule here. Sean?
Apple.
Okay. Chevy?
I don't mean the fruit.
I know.
Technology.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Genorox?
I guess pyramids.
Wouldn't it better than Apple be just like the Silicon Valley?
Well,
you know
that's
what I
why
mean?
Chevy said technology.
Yeah.
She went up Sean.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know what else to say. I panicked.
No, it was the same, but
Chevy,
the
I see your
same.
apple.
We're on the same wavelength.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, I personally think you hear a lot of cases of UFOs, like Todd was saying, or all those people crazy. I personally don't necessarily think that all UFOs seen are alien. However, I do think a hell of a lot of them are influenced by alien technology, created here, but using alien technology, like the things that he saw, like a light just shooting up into the sky.
Yeah,
possibly alien, possibly not, but probably
alien technology. So
alien
you're saying either
technology,
alien or aliens.
possibly, yeah. So,
all right, here's a tougher one.
Whoa.
What's my
word?
word?
You got to answer now.
Yeah.
I would say. I would say.
Be honest. don't be contrarian.
Reproduction.
What?
Reproduction.
Oh, that's your word?
Yep, that's my word.
Why you always got to take it to sex?
I don't mean
reproduction.
Just sex. I just mean reproduction as a whole. Like the whole process of conception, birth, ideas to fruition, technology, all of it. Just the whole. I'm sticking with the whole process of it.
That's interesting because there's like alien abductions. You know what I mean? And like people.
That was going to be my next.
People
question.
getting abducted and like scientific experience happening on them.
One word is anal probe. 2 words or 1 word?
It depends on how
you feel too.
Yeah. So here's the second part of that question. So we all agree, except for me, because I'm playing the anti. I don't agree with all of you. You're all stupid. Do we all agree that not only have aliens been here, but we've also been off this planet at some point or another?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What do you mean off this planet?
Like, have humans been to an alien world?
I think more so another dimension than another world.
I'd agree with them. Yeah, not through jet propelled rockets.
Because if you look up like the Nazis, they were doing a lot of things with vibrations and frequencies and trying to like.
They were so ahead of their time. It was ridiculous.
That's what I'm talking about.
They were trying to attack the United States.
Let's start praising the Nazis
with Mexico. So fucking genius. They were built. They're still to this day a mansion in. Is it Palos Verdes?
Yeah.
That of a Nazi mansion for Hitler that he had commissioned to be built here because he was so confident he was going to win the war. It's still there. You can go hike up to it today.
Well, who lives in it now?
No one.
It's abandoned.
It's
in the Pacific Palisades.
I would like to go. I've never been there. I heard it's quite a beautiful view.
Chevy's for sure been. You could just tell about
because I love Nazis.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't,
and
right?
I love Hitler.
Yeah.
And she hates
and I hate my people.
Yeah.
I hate the Jews.
Yeah.
My people.
Alien Nazis. I mean, it's better than that.
Definitely alien.
When female Jews come to age, they have to go find something Hitler built and come to terms with it.
It's true.
Wow.
That's the tradition.
It's a rite of passage?
Yeah.
It's written in the book.
Yeah. They walk
not the good book.
The Torah.
The Torah.
Yeah.
It's written in the scroll.
The other book.
The other book.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to open up the conversation to be more fluid now. So with aliens, does anyone here think... So Todd already expressed his. You expect yours. Do you think you've ever had an alien experience? Not maybe necessarily with aliens directly, but with something they've created? Anyone?
I mean, some kind of just the realm of technology itself.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I mean, that's... I mean, what we can do now, and the more we progress, it's getting crazy. So
I think even like if you go backwards, like even simple stuff like fire, or
fire. What do you mean fire?
Well, fire, like when fire was first recorded to have been created, we did not have the mental capacity to create fire. And even if it was a happy accident where we created by accident, we wouldn't have the capacity to create it again.
Lightning hits a dead tree.
But how does that mean that a human being could recreate a natural phenomenon?
Okay.
They were instructed on how to do it.
Trial and error.
Well, it's just the same as the knowledge of the stars, the mapping of the universe, and you see all these ancient sites that troll the stars as they pass by, and then there's so much reference to Orion or these different systems, and so it makes you think that the people that had no knowledge whatsoever of anything are so smart when it comes to space, how everything changes, the winter solstice, the summer solstice, being able to aggregate and grow crops and become who we are today. We didn't do it just by sticks and stones.
Yeah.
We had to have help. There's 10,000 year gap.
I can't wait to hear next week when we talk about the flat Earth theory.
Oh, that's be great.
Yeah.
But there's a 10,000 year missing gap in our evolution that they say, like we just went from this to that.
Well, that's why I'm really glad you brought that up, because one of the things I was going to mention is that if you believe in evolution, which I'm not condemning belief for or against, everyone to each their own. But if you believe in evolution, everyone's seen that image where it's a monkey to a man, right? Mm-hmm. Well, there's no fossil evidence ever between the monkey and the man. That those middle three pictures, there's never been a discovery ever of that part of the process. And I'm not saying that evolution isn't real. It's not what I'm implying here.
It's called the missing link.
It's like what Todd just mentioned. Yeah,
it's been scientifically proven we're more close to pigs. They actually take pigs' hearts and pigs' teeth and graft them into humans.
I think that was chimpanzees.
No.
Pigs?
Pigs. It's like huge in Mexico. My father has pig teeth.
It must be true.
That's not real.
Yeah, no, it is real.
A pastor friend of mine, he gave me an interesting theory that I had never thought about. But since we're talking about it and we're going to roll into the afterlife, if you are a biblical person, right, and they don't believe in evolution. So a friend of mine who is a pastor proposed to me that believing in evolution and believing in God are the same thing. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said that if you're a Bible believer, there's nowhere in there that says what a day is to God.
Right.
All he said is that in 7 God days, he went
7
from
days was analogy.
Yeah, from animal to man.
Sure.
So how do you know that it's not the process of evolution that is describing?
Could be looked at it that way.
And
Why
I was
not?
like, oh, okay, all right.
That's pretty rad.
The one theory that I have the hardest time subscribing to is the Big Bang Theory. That one's tough for me to just believe that all creation in the universe is created by an accident.
That's like a huge thing right now. Is that
Chevy's smirking.
When there's like a star born and starts to evolve, and these proteins that are like building blocks of life start getting created out of this star, which becomes a planet.
But do you really believe that all of creation and all of its infinite possibilities is a result of a matter accident?
There's a lot of science being proven that that's how it happens. Stuff just starts growing out of this star.
But it would have to grow from somebody put it there to begin with.
And, it's like a seed being planted. You know what I mean?
So
which everything grows from there.
So how did it get there?
Well, that's the $1 million question. You know what I mean?
Right. I hope when you die, whether there's a God or not, I hope something in the universe goes, all right, there's no such thing as heaven, but here's how it happened. Have a good death.
Yeah.
Now I know. Chevy, why were you smirking?
I'm just looking at Linda.
No,
That's
you were
all.
smirking when I mentioned that Big Bang Theory thing.
No, because I went somewhere dirty. I always go somewhere dirty. Sorry, guys.
Big Bang, the girl with 2 dicks, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, so, next question on aliens.
That tracks.
Do you think...
No.
So everyone here agrees that they're probably among us right now, right? We all agree on that?
That we are all aliens?
No, that there are non-Earth beings living in this population right now, right?
I say it's possible.
Whether it's matter or plant or a full-grown
or a talking dog. Like
supposedly mushrooms are from outer space.
That explains why they're so delicious.
The mushrooms that Chevy and Pisac take, maybe, but not normal mushrooms.
All mushrooms.
Not mushrooms you put in lettuce or in a salad.
Yeah, in lettuce. With lettuce in a salad.
Yeah, those mushrooms are of the earth.
Yeah.
No, they've traveled here from outer space.
Mushrooms?
Got dropped off
of
asteroids.
In creation, you're gonna go with mushrooms?
Magical
mushrooms? This is like
I was more subscribed to the vagina.
This is like it's a theory out there. But they came here, got picked up through outer space on asteroids that have landed on Earth. Then their spores spread. Yeah.
Oh, so you're not saying they were... Okay, I got it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that's not possible.
Totally.
For sure. I mean, a lot of people believe that the majority of our periodic table of elements is extraterrestrial. As composed by, like Augie said, the meteors that have delivered extraterrestrial rocks to our planet.
We should all take a moment to thank those meteors.
We should.
Well, that's
especially
why,
for mushrooms.
Did you know that only 80% of the periodic table of elements can still be found on Earth?
I did not know that.
It's crazy, right?
What about, isn't krypton an element?
It is.
There's evidence right there, bitch.
But it's not. It's a gas. It's not a green rock.
God damn it.
Sorry.
What? Green rock.
Maybe it need to be condensed.
There you go. See?
So,
You just can't.
I'm going to tell a story just because it's appropriate. So, these British officers were on duty in Britain, in like a very woodsy area, and they see this cube of light, and they're on patrol, you know what I mean? So, one of them goes up to it, touches it, it takes off. He has like this happening in his life where he just has like this life-changing moment, you know what I mean? Something happens to him.
Terrible.
So over time, he starts seeing this code in his head, and he starts writing it down, and he gets debriefed by the officers, higher up ranks and stuff. But he never tells them about this code he starts seeing in his head that's just like part of him now.
That's selfish.
So he writes this whole book on it, and he tries to figure out later on when he's out of the government what it is. Turns out it was different landmarks of like Stonehenge and different places like that are like
the longitude and latitudes.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different accounts where people will have these visions and then they write them all down and it's a binary code. And when they translate it, it comes out to a bunch of different messages, such as that. And there's one that I was reading about where they talk about like once you like, I don't know if it's the secret or it's the information that we're missing. Then it's hidden under the Sphinx in Egypt. And once you can figure out how to open the Sphinx, then you'll get the secret to what it is that we are missing as human beings.
That'd be so cool.
It would be cool. So there's a lot of, and it's just so
much knowledge in the universe that we'll never know.
Right. There's so much that we won't know. But I think it's just so coincidental that just so random people around everywhere have these visions and write down these binary codes and translate them, and so many of them say the same things. And then a lot of them go to the crop circles, where the crop circles are binary and they mention certain things. We send out that gold record, right, on the satellite or whatever.
In the 60s, right?
What it?
In the 60s, right?
Right. Yeah. In hopes that if anybody ever found it, they would, contact us back and stuff like that. And so we had like a code on there. It was a picture to show it, and basically the encryption of the picture was like it was our universe, where we live, our Earth, who we are. We're man and all this kind of stuff. And so there was a crop circle that got put in England, I believe it was. It was the exact same picture, but the only thing that was different was it was an alien instead of a man, and it was a different universe, different planetary systems, and it was a different planet that was their home. But it was the exact same picture. Jeez.
Isn't that a trip?
It's crazy, So for people to sit there and say that all these are just, coincidences, or people are really going to go out of their time to go make something fake like that. Like that's just too much,
What do you think is more likely, Todd, for us to find extraterrestrial life under our own oceans or in space?
I think you'll find them both. I think you'll find them inside our Earth, inside our oceans, inside space. I think they're here. We're just too blind to see it. We're just keep being fed a lie and keep being dumbed down to where we won't ever be able to accept it. And so the saying goes that once we are able to conquer interstellar travel, then they would contact us.
We're supposed to be on Mars by 2020. No, 2030, right? 30. All right, we are going to take a break here, and when we get back, we're going to switch gears to the afterlife. So you are listening to the Infamous Chronicles. Buy whatever the sponsor tells you to buy. We'll be right back.
This is
First, take a big step back.
the Infamous Chronicles.
And literally fuck your own face!
The Infamous Chronicles.
Hey fellas, do you need to get some flowers? I mean seriously, did you mess up with your lady? Forget something special? She's got something you gotta congratulate her on? You wanna just tell her how much you love her? Guys, seriously, all smart moves. What's not smart is not saving 15% on your flowers. Head over to our sponsor, bouquetinabox.com. They are grown here in California, all natural, delivered very promptly with this private message, and it will hook you up on the good side of your lady again. Use our promo code INFAMOUS, that's infamous, and you save 15% off your first order. It's so easy. bouquetinbox.com. Use our promo code INFAMOUS, get yourself some brownie points, and save some money. Back to the show.
Now,
What did you say?
back to the infamous Chronicles.
I said you look shitty.
And we are back on the episode 1 of the Todd Farewell Tour of the Infamous Chronicles. Tonight we are talking about aliens and the afterlife. So we are going to switch gears here, and we're going to switch over to ghosts. If you guys don't mind, I would like to go first on this.
Yes,
I don't
please.
usually go first, but I'm going to go first on this one.
I'm excited.
Augie's already heard this story. He's the only one that's heard it.
It's a damn good story.
Yeah, I think I told it on air once before, so listeners, I apologize if I have, but it's more relevant now than it was the first time I told it, for sure.
Am I going to have a nightmare?
It's not scary, but this for real happened to me.
Okay.
So the podcast is recorded in a studio in my home, and the home that it's in was previously occupied by my grandparents.
Wait.
Yeah, so for the sake of the conversation, let's call them Bob and Susie. So Bob passed away about a little over 10 years ago now. Susie passed away a little over a year ago. There's a big gap between the two of their passing. Susie lived in our house for a long time after Bob passed away. Then she transitioned to a assisted living home, and we took over the house. So, right about when Susie was about to pass away, my daughter, Minnie Infamous, started having conversations underneath the kitchen table. And I would come down the hall, and she would be sitting underneath the kitchen table talking to nobody. And I obviously was freaking the fuck out. And Mrs. Infamous, who's on Maternal Instincts, which is available on Sundays, listen to it. She didn't, I was like, babe, this is happening. I'm fucking freaking out. She's like, okay, whatever. So sure as shit, her turn comes. Get this phone call at work. She's home with Minnie Infamous, and our Amazon Alexa, out of nowhere, started playing Adele's Hello from the Other Side. And so she called me. She's like, what the fuck is Kwan's on here? And I was like, I told you, bitch. Oh my God, I told you. So I called my mom. She's like, here's an idea. Show her a picture of Bob, who my daughter had never met. Ask her if she recognizes him. I'm like, what if she does? And my mom's like, well, then it's not bad. And I'm like, oh my God, I'd almost rather not know. So I walk up to Minnie Infamous and I show her a picture of my grandfather Bob, and I go, hey, does this person look familiar? And without skipping a motherfucking beat, Minnie Infamous goes, yeah, that's your papa.
Really?
Yeah.
And I thought she started saying ghost.
No, so, yes. So I was like, what? So then I call my mom. I was like, you gotta come over. This is for real. So my mom comes over, right? She doesn't believe me.
But do you look like your dad? Does your dad look a lot like you?
No, it's my mom's father. So no, we don't look alike at all.
Shit.
So and it wasn't a picture of him young. It was a picture of him as an adult grandfather. Okay. It wasn't like a naval picture when he was young buck. So my mom comes over. She wants to test the theory, right? So she shows my daughter the same thing, and she points at the picture and goes, spooky, over and over. Just kept seeing spooky. And I was like, I told you. It was like a drop the mic moment, right? So my mom goes, babe, have you seen this person before? To my daughter. And my daughter goes, yeah, he's right there. And points to the dining room area. Ooh. So I call my grandma, who's in the assisted living. I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, where did Bob eat when you guys ate together? And it wasn't in the spot that Minnie Infamous was talking to. Thank fucking God, because I would have had a seizure. But it wasn't that. So I was like, okay. So the next day, we are sleeping. It is the middle of the night. And my daughter's iPad, which is not an Alexa, so it doesn't pick up sound in the room, starts playing static jazz music. Like 30s jazz music.
I just got goosebumps.
Yeah. So
I've had them the whole time. They won't go away.
So there's a baby monitor in my daughter's room. So we hear the static come through the baby monitor, the other, the walkie-talkie.
Like some music you'd hear in The Shining.
Yes. But it was like, but it was like really staticky, but you could hear the background of a jazz song, right? So I was
because
like,
iPads are usually so staticky.
Right, yeah.
Like, you get fucking static off an a product.
Well, so I go in to turn it off, right?
Oh, God.
The iPad is playing the song, but no apps are open. There's no Pandora. There's no Apple Music playing. There's nothing playing. So I literally fucking put it in a box, shut the box, and put it in the closet because it wouldn't stop playing.
Oh.
The next day, I took the iPad to my grandma at the assisted living, and I said, just out of curiosity, have you ever heard this song? Which, by the way, did not stop playing. Have you ever heard this song? Yeah, really. So my grandma goes, yeah, that's my wedding song. Where did you find that?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And, of course, I shit an entire person. So I come home, I tell Mrs. Infamous that this has happened. We're both like, fuck. Oh, my God. And then it just stopped.
But the thing is, though...
And my grandmother didn't die. She died months later. Because like you'd think it would stop because he had come to collect her and moved on with his afterlife. Because nothing threatening happened. He didn't ever scare... My daughter was never once scared of it. She was like, it's fine. She was like totally comfortable with it. So I have to assume that he was just being my grandfather. And just scaring the fuck out of us.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a friendly hello.
It was, yes. In hindsight.
But you didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Right.
How long ago was it?
It was probably like a year. So she passed away like about a year and a half ago, and it was about 6 months before that. So close to about 2 years ago.
How old's your daughter?
She's 4.5 now. So she was like she was too young to be making things up. And
right.
Yeah. She had an active imagination, but the fluid and details of her stories weren't something that a 3-year-old could have made up.
So your grandpa was just coming to say hi and meet his granddaughter.
I really, in hindsight, I really believe that that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think he was here for my grandma, but he was just kind of enjoying the ride.
He was just hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
One is kind of funny. So, well, at least it feels funny.
Did you spy on me in the shower? Obviously.
Who wouldn't? So we've been coming here every Monday to do podcasts.
In this ghost house, yes.
Yes. Has this shit stopped? Because I like doing this podcast, but not that friggin' much.
You know what's funny, Sean? It actually stopped as soon as you started coming.
Maybe it's following you.
No, I'm just kidding.
Sean.
No, it stopped right after that. It never happened again. It didn't happen. I thought it was going to come again when she passed away. Like as like a goodbye. Like if you subscribed to that he was saying hello. I thought maybe he was going to come say his piece and be on his way.
Maybe.
But it never happened again.
Maybe he had already crossed over. So my
But
next
you
question.
know what my daughter will never be allowed to have now? Imaginary friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'll be like,
no.
Nope.
Well, she already had one, but it was the ghost of
one was good enough for me because I've seen Insidious.
Yeah, I've seen way too many horror movies to ever want my little girl to have imaginary friends. So my second question is kind of a no-brainer. So let's just ask you real quick. Do you believe in spirits? Do you believe in ghosts?
I did before this also. I do believe it. And I believe it in the same way that Todd believes in aliens. I personally believe that it's impossible to accept the fact that, and before I say this, I'm going to prelude it with that. I've been having my own crisis of faith for about the last year. So I really can truthfully say I don't know where I stand on the whole God afterlife thing. But I do believe that in all of the, whether it be alien or coincidence or luck, whatever it was, the entire evolution of life as itself, I just don't believe that it ends when you die as a human vessel. And so yes, I do believe in spirits or unfinished business or whatever you may call it, but I don't really believe in like malignant evil spirits.
No?
I don't really see the value of why somebody would want to do that if they have the ability to go do whatever they want to do.
People who are assholes in life typically are assholes in the afterlife.
Great, so I'm going to be haunting motherfuckers.
Oh, there's something to look forward to.
But you've had several ghost experiences, have you not?
I've had some really weird things happen, but I just live a weird life. Like, I don't live like your normal, like, hey, let's just get up and go to work every day type of life, you know? I don't do that.
So
I do.
What's your most fluid ghost experience?
Oh, shucks.
You get up in the morning and eat dinner first? That's how crazy your life is.
His life is just completely backwards.
Yeah. Like sometimes I just wake up and I'll just eat it like a 10-ounce steak.
You know how people say I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you?
Yeah.
Augie puts them on 2 legs at a time.
No, 3 legs at a time. Because that's how crazy his life is. 3 legs at a time.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't live it like you, bro.
Honestly, I'd have to think. If I can think of it, because there's been nothing like that. I kind of like just remember everything that's going on right now and everything that doesn't happen right now. I just remember at random times.
Does anyone else have like an active ghost story they want to share?
I got one. Sure.
Whenever, who got it?
Oh, you know what?
Wait, before I get to you, Sean, let me just ask the lady in the room.
Yeah.
Just ladies first.
Hi.
Do you have
something? She's good.
Do you have an experience that you want to share?
I've had, my dad passed away 6 years ago, and
Porky's
for all of you out there. My parents met on the movie Porky's. But he, I believe that spirits visit you in your sleep, especially loved ones and like that. So he always visits me around his birthday, which always pisses me off because it's always such a shitty day. But I had a best friend that passed away 10 years ago, and he, like, just random songs would come. Like, when I would think of him, they would come on. And
when you feel your dad's presence, do you feel it as a welcome or is it a discomfort?
No, it's not a discomfort. Yeah. He was my dad. There wasn't any bad blood there.
Right.
But, yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, ghosts are cool. I like ghosts.
I know. But so you believe, though?
I believe, yeah. I had a friend who, his house was haunted. And we were all really drunk one night. And, like, we would hear things in the kitchen just rattling. And I think at one point, just me being drunk, I was like, it's cool, man. He just wants to hang out. Just grab him a drink. It's cool. It's no big deal.
Oh, I wish I could be like that.
Because that's how ghosts work.
I wish I could be like that.
Yeah, they drink with us. Right. Just be more optimistic, Sean.
I'm envious of your laissez-faire attitude towards the spirits.
You're going to need a
but she knows, you know what? She knows it's her dad. That's totally different.
When it's my turn to tell the story, I have a completely different experience, which might have colored.
Well, perfect, because it's your turn.
Oh, okay, cool. I guess I got you.
That's the spot. You're on it. Go.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You don't have one, or you do?
He does.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Sean.
No,
you are right.
Hey, no, let him go.
Good manners. You're the new guy. You go first, Sean.
Okay. Fuck. Too much build up. Hopefully it doesn't suck.
No.
She's like, one time I woke up and my butt was bleeding. I swear it was a ghost.
I swear.
It wasn't my favorite. I swear.
No.
I maintain that story to this day. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to make a joke out of your situation.
It's all right. Bleeding buttholes are always funny.
Always.
Well, all right.
The house I lived in first when I was brought into this world, from the year, from birth till age 7.
That gentleman has been on the show, so you can say his name.
My dad?
Yeah.
Jared?
Yeah.
Okay. The house we lived in was haunted. And I had a...
What? The house I bring my kid to all the time?
No, not
Different
that house. The house
he said he lived there till he was 7.
It was in Sun Valley, California.
Okay.
In the San Fernando Valley.
All right.
There was a spirit who was focused mainly on my room. It was one of those malicious little prick spirits, little dickhead, who liked to really mess with a infant / toddler / child, would constantly open and close my drawers, open and close my closet door, make little scratching noises. I don't know if the podcast... Exactly. Dude,
what?
No, I mean, I don't like...
How old were you?
From 1 to 6, from 0 to 6.
Oh.
I've never told you this, but I mean, your story was awesome too. I mean, it just doesn't really come up in your day-to-day conversation.
No, it doesn't.
It would terrify the living shit out of me. He lived to scare me. My lights would sometimes turn on, and I'd have to get out of bed and go turn them off. Dude, it was not pleasant, and I was constantly running out to tell my parents, and they would tell me that it was one of their friends had stayed late and was trying to tease me. But even as like 4 or 5 years old, I grasped that, like, the party's over, Mom and Dad. Everybody went home 2 hours ago.
Plus,
I know
shitty friends that fuck with children.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's a terrible story. We only have shitty people come over to the house.
Well, one of my dad's friends, who he's still friends with to this day, he's like an unofficial uncle. When I was a kid, he was like that kind of uncle that always liked to mess with you, which I loved. It was fun. He never messed with me maliciously, but they would try to blame it on him. And I even knew at that time, there's just no way Steve is doing this. So it would get worse and worse, and then one night, this piece of shit. I have animosity towards this guy because he was just a negative spirit.
How do you know he's a guy? Just out of curiosity.
You know what? I'll get to that point.
Okay.
He slapped me in the face.
Wow.
He makes physical contact and slapped me in the face. Have
Were
you guys
you sleeping or awake?
I was awake. Trying to sleep. Yeah. My night sleeps for the rest of the time I lived there were not the best.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wait, what did your parents say when you told them this?
They didn't really. Well, my mom believed me, and I'll tell you why. So
Because she's not Jared.
Yeah. No, if you ask him about it now, he's realized. So, have you guys ever seen E.T.?
Mm-hmm.
No. Obviously.
Okay.
Love that movie.
You guys remember that scene where Elliot first encounters E.T. in his backyard, and he sees him walking towards him, and he's so terrified that he's trying to talk to his mom, and he can't even get any sound out of his mouth? Yeah, that was me like on a weekly basis. So I remember first seeing that movie going, oh shit, I'm not alone with that. Yeah, I've been that scared where you literally can't make sound out of your mouth. So then I kind of let this experience bury with me because once we moved, I wasn't the best sleeper as a kid, but thankfully we moved. I was about 7. That next house was not inhabited by an asshole spirit.
Jerk. So
I was confiding in my mom a few years back. You know, I'm much older now. I'm in my 40s, so this is all very, very long ago. I was confiding the story to my mom, and she just looked at me as white as a ghost.
Surprised you remembered?
Yeah. What?
Surprising you remembered it?
Yeah, and then confided to me, I had seen him. She told me she had seen him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she had seen him walk past her a few times in the house.
Ugh.
He was. She described him in pretty vivid detail. She said she had a very strong feeling he was a Native American, and I don't mean like a headdress wearing guy doing a friggin' tribal rain dance. I mean just like he had that appearance, you know, the long dark hair. The clothing was kind of that nature with the necklace, and you know, when you see a Native American looking person, you know that's what they are. And he would walk through the house and walk through a friggin' wall.
Wow.
So she saw him.
So you saw this too as a young kid?
I never saw it. I only heard it, sensed it, felt it, got the shit scared out of me. So I can only safely assume that they were one and the same. He never gave them any trouble, and my dad never saw it because my mom's highly in tune. Some people are just more in tune.
Yeah.
So he's not. He's very skeptical. He's shut off, closed off. Love him, but that's not his bag.
Mm-hmm.
So it only stands to reason if that was what my mom was, that it could have been me too. So
why do you think he latched onto you?
Because he was younger?
Yeah, because he was younger and he could feed off of my fear.
Because they're still connected to the other side, you know what I mean? The children, they're not shut off like we are now as adults, told, no, that doesn't exist, no, that doesn't exist. You're still very open. Huh?
It's just that when your mom said that, it stayed with me forever.
So there, I'm just going to throw this out there. It's been said that certain places on the earth are more open to, let's say, extraterrestrial spirits, other places, just because that's where they geologically are on the earth. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
So maybe the two spirits were different because your mom saw one and you didn't see the other one.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But typically spirits will latch on to the children.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. Also, a fun fact, just for everybody out there, if you have spirits in your house, burn sage, rosemary, or pine needles in like a pie tin and just make sure the smoke goes all throughout your house with all the windows open so that spirit has the freedom to leave. Just a fun fact, you know, for everybody out there.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to try it. Unless it's a demon and then you're just going to piss it off and make your life even worse.
He's like, I hate sage. All right, Gino, I'm going to save you for licenses. Todder's going away month. You get to go next, sir.
Sad.
So please let us know about your not extraterrestrial, your
appreciate that.
Afterlife experience.
Afterlife experience, well, not as in detailed as or as crazy as Sean's or yours, but by any means. But I do remember when I was younger, being like dead asleep and then just waking up and paralyzed, couldn't move, there was like someone standing there and then could not move, could not speak, couldn't do anything.
Did you see it or did you feel it or was it a shape?
It was like something there.
Wow.
And then I closed my eyes and just like waited a minute and then like I felt like it wasn't there anymore and I just was screaming bloody murder for my mom to come and get me.
Yeah, of
she
course.
was like pissed off because I woke her up and stuff. But there was that. But when not that long ago, probably I guess I'm fucking old now, so 15 years ago, I guess. Me and some buddies were renting a house here in Simi. It's a corner house on Larch. And the entire time we lived there for a year. It was like a big frat house. We used to have parties there all the time. It was a lot of fun.
Huh.
But whenever it was just us, we'd sit down, like, we're like watch TV downstairs. You could hear people walking upstairs, lights come on and off, cabinets shut, open.
What?
Like throughout the whole year, and we just whatever, and we would joke around. Oh, it's our ghost. You know, we live with a ghost. He lives upstairs. We all live downstairs. Just joking around. But the last day when we were actually moving out, that's when things got a little bit more crazy. Like just random stuff would happen, and stuff would end up missing, and it was a weird weather day. Like it only rained when we were outside of the house, but every time we went inside the house, the rain would stop. And then we come outside the house.
What the fuck?
To load stuff up in the truck, it would rain again.
Oh man!
It was really freaky. So we went and talked to a neighbor. It was like, you know, like weird shit happened in this house the entire time that lived there. You know, do you know any history of it and stuff like that? And she was like, yeah, a lot of people died in that house. So I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Really?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean a lot of people? Like more than one is a lot of people to me.
So there was a family that was, because where it's sat in the corner, the living room is like on the corner of the streets. And so apparently some drunk driver came around the corner and went straight into the living room and wiped out the entire family.
Oh my god. Of course that house is haunted.
God, another time, I guess, like somebody killed some people in there, and then people that just died of natural death.
Would you have moved in if you would have known this?
I probably would have been more hesitant, that's for sure. You know, but
was it cheap?
At the time, compared to now, yeah, it was cheap.
They're like, we'll pay you to live here.
Yeah, we'll pay you to live here.
Todd's like, sweet.
Right.
Just don't go upstairs. Ever.
The thing, like what Sean was
Don't go in the
saying,
basement.
when it comes down to when he was asking you if you believed in negative, right, negative spirits or something like that. To me, it's just like, regardless of what you believe, we're all forms of energy. So energy never dies. So what we're in is, like you said earlier, it's a vessel until the vessel, you know, decays and is done, and then we carry on. And so whether you're a positive person or a negative person is going to determine whether you're going to be a positive energy or a negative energy afterwards. And what happens after that, I don't know. Whether there's all the different beliefs, right? There's reincarnation, or there's the afterlife, or you pass on to a different dimension, or you just stay around, or whatever it is that happens. But energy never dies. It will always be. So you will always be. Just a matter of what happens to you afterwards.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, young buck.
Oh, yeah.
Your turn. Let's hear it. Better be sexual.
Oh, God.
It was so sexual.
Follow that up, yeah.
Casey is
Casey joined us.
Talking about ghosts.
Welcome to
Looks like there's a banshee in here.
It's haunted. It's still haunted in here.
By the Joker.
All right, Gino, let's hear it.
All right. So my grandfather, when he passed away, great man, you know, very, you know, humble guy, and everyone loved him. He, you know, we had this big, you know, 3-day kind of party, I guess you can say. And at the last day, all the kids, they wrote a little, you know, special note to him, and they tied it to a balloon and let it go.
Well, that's such a cool idea. After he passed, right?
Yeah, after he passed, all the kids, you know, they wrote something, you let it go. Mm-hmm. And the youngest kid, she was 2 at the time, and she wrote a letter, but she didn't want to let it go. She's like, no. She starts crying hysterically. I don't want to let it go. I want to keep the balloon. And so when we all finally decided, she's like, okay, we'll let it go. Hers, like, stayed, like, above the house. It
just lingered there?
It just stayed in one spot. Didn't go anywhere, just stayed in one spot for, like, a good 15 minutes. We're all like, what the hell's going on?
Wow.
And we're like, Jesus, that's crazy. And then finally it just went. And
that's interesting.
Yeah. About an hour later, it's, like, pouring. Like bad. And my uncles, they went to the store for something. On their way back, that balloon was wrapped around a bush in our front lawn. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goosebumps again.
It was just crazy. And we're all like,
that's pretty neat.
Like, the note, the balloon, everything was still there. I mean, obviously the note was a little wet, but it was still there.
Jeez.
And my uncle, I think he still has it to this day. He's like,
that's crazy.
Please tell me there's no helium in it.
No.
So, do we have more time?
I'm just
Are you
saying,
good?
if it's still full, that's
All right, is there
crazy.
more time?
We're wrapping up. Let's hear it.
Okay, so there's this bar I've talked about many times called the Chop Shop here in Simi Valley. There was a ghost inside of that building.
Yeah.
It's still in there,
What?
and it's soon to be a new business. So we would be sitting there at the bar.
Have fun, new business.
Yeah, we'd be sitting there at the bar, just a few of us, you know, when they like wrapped up, whatever, because the bartender is my roommate. So the trash can would be on the other side of the bar. There was only 5 people on the other side of the bar, you know, across from the bar. The trash can would flip over at random times. Shit would fall off the shelves, like randomly. They'd hear it in the kitchen. Yeah, but it was never like, I never had like a negative energy from it.
No.
What did you see?
I think we were just chilling there, like towards either closing or something like that, and we're all just talking. And all of a sudden, like one of those, like the marine diploma things or looking things just falls off.
Yeah.
It
was always in the corner by the pool table.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
There in the kitchen.
It just fell off. We all looked at it, we're like, what the fuck? And I almost had that shit on Snapchat. Almost. I was like,
dude, that would have been crazy.
That would have been epic.
Is it still open?
The business is now closed, but they're changing owners, and it's going to be reopened whenever they go through
as another bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're all going to go.
Oh,
to
absolutely.
The bar?
Yeah,
that's where we held up.
Because the same guy might be working there too.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's where we spend the night and have a seance.
Oh shit! Augie probably he knows everything about it.
Yeah, why don't we bring a Ouija board?
I don't fuck with Ouija boards. I don't stay in the same room.
That was going to be my last question before we wrapped up. Quick answers because we're running out of time. Who here has done a Ouija board, and was your experience positive or negative? Condensed answers, please. Let's go. I'll go clockwise. Augie, you first.
Never have I ever, and will never.
All right, Chevy?
I've done it twice. First time was fine. Second time was really negative.
So you did experience something?
Yeah.
Okay. Gina?
Fuck no. Never.
Solid no?
I had the same answer as Chevy. Twice. One was fun. One was not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never do it again.
Todders?
Yeah, I probably did it twice. First time was more of like, it was like a joke. You didn't believe it. And the second time was a little weird.
So basically only do a Ouija board once.
or not at all.
Or never.
Don't do it, because with the Ouija board, it's opening up you to different energies and stuff.
Why does a
because
manufactured board?
Because it's a tool passed down that's been recreated by Mattel, but it's still a tool passed down to create or to connect you to the other side.
It has nothing to do
and
with
you don't
the
know
board.
what's going to connect you.
You're opening yourself up mentally. You're opening yourself up.
You're allowing you.
Why would that be any different than the six of us?
It just
here
is, bro. It's something. It's one of those things you can't explain. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, you're literally calling.
But you are very open to open yourself to negative beings, negative energy with the Ouija board. So I say don't do it.
All right.
Yeah, it's nothing to fuck around with.
If you guys want to continue the conversation, and if you have a suggestion, we have our picks for our conspiracy next week, but we don't have the third week. So join the conversation on Twitter or Instagram via Real TIC Podcast. Let us know what you guys think. If you've had any experiences with ghosts or aliens yourself. And then also let us know if you have a good idea for the conspiracy for the third episode. So next week, the crew's coming back and we are going to be discussing the flat earth theory and the lizard people theory. Awesome. So again, this is stuff that a lot of people are really passionate about. So we're going to talk about it and we need to know what conspiracy you guys want us to cover the third week. Remember, it cannot be political. This is the Infamous Chronicles. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week.
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Infamous Chronicles. Our show is produced by Jeremy Elder, talent acquisition is done by Casey Moran, and operations directed by Paul Sinacori. This show is copywritten Infamous Works, LLC, 2016. All rights are reserved. All of our guests appear signed via waivers. We don't own the rights to any of the music featured on our show. We are just fans of it. Visit us at infamousworks.com or call our offices at 844-4-INFAMOUS.